You already know what it is. It's your boy Dwayne with KDD Radio Show. We back. We about to have a special guest who I'm about to dial right now, and we just gonna do a little something for the holidays. So, give me 1 second.
Hey, what's good?
What's up? Yeah, you are on the KDD Radio Show. I mean, you know who I am.
Oh, we in there now.
Yeah. We be doing it like real live. Wanted to make it sound organic and shit.
We live.
Yes, real live. So, yeah, don't say anything too problematic. Or more problematic than usual.
I know, right?
Yeah. So, first of all, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm chilling. I'm a lot of things. That episode we did about the sex magic is real now. It's realer than rap.
It's real. It's real.
It's very real. Yeah, I gotta get my wand game. Anyway, the point is, in case you didn't know, this is Ajaya Devine, author, just melanated woman extraordinaire, tribe builder. Coach.
I got my learning center.
Yeah.
Coming up, learning co-op. We out here.
Yeah.
A nonprofit,
And doing karate and shit. She's with the arts of the martial for when it's.
Don't forget Hall of Fame. Have the Hall of Famer on there now.
Oh yeah, don't forget about that.
I said I'm running that out for the rest of the year.
Oh yeah, the price is definitely going up. And then also, she got teaching the martial arts for when it's martial law.
Man, right? We got really need to be out here learning how to protect and get away. All that good stuff. Yeah,
because it's never a bad time to slam a nigga on his neck. All right, so what we're gonna talk about today is just the it's the eve before Thanksgiving. Most people are about to go turn up with their side chick or whatever. Have a little Friendsgiving with their friends with benefits. You know what I'm saying? Do all of that.
Definitely what they do. I got invited to a little Friendsgiving.
As like a friend or like a side chick?
Listen, I don't even know. Cause I thought the man was married. I ain't even gonna lie.
Oh man.
It's like my house is open. So I might just show up like, oh, so you are? Okay. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't ask enough questions. I ain't really interested like that. So I don't be.
Nah, I feel you. I mean, with a lot of these women's out here, I'm just these womans. I don't be asking questions. I don't ask if you got a boyfriend or nothing like that. Because if it was a big deal, you would have said something.
Exactly.
But getting back on topic. So this is, we're in the fourth quarter of the year. This is, I don't know. I don't know if you want to like kind of go through the brief history of Thanksgiving or like, just kind of, I don't know, just speak.
On the good old things. I mean, everybody can debate. I done heard a couple different stories about the true history of Thanksgiving. I've heard that there was a battle between basically the Moors and the Europeans that was fought at this time, and this is when they beat them, and the turkey is representative of them beating the Moors. Then there's just, the basic, like they came over here to have the dinner with the pilgrims, but it wasn't friendly at all. It was actually like having dinner with your worst enemy, sitting down at the table. It was, sitting down at the table with your worst enemy, trying to like figure out what their plot and plan was, and then like them coming through and just slaughtering and murdering. You know what I mean?
So basically, the Last Supper.
Yeah, basically, like something like that. So Thanksgiving is basically a celebration of Europeans taking over the natives, indigenous, whatever, however you want to describe or call the people that were here before they came. you know. And it's not a friendly thing at all. Long story short.
Yeah, so I know a lot of people, they try to say, well, you know, despite all that, you know, make sure, you know, you enjoy your family and whatever. Other people's like, nah, like, it's the white man's holiday and blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, what's your take on that?
Okay, so, you know, I've been at this thing for a minute. I'm about 10 years in, so I've had a lot of time to, like, practice, see what I want to do, don't want to do.
OG, triple OG.
Right? And so, like, you know, it is a good time to be with family, and a lot of times it's the only time family really gets together, have a good meal. And so a part of the thing about becoming so-called conscious is you're already going to be alienated from your family. Just from how you think, how you carry yourself, how you do all this stuff, it's going to start to alienate you from your family. But I don't think it should be a reason that you have to alienate yourself from your family. You know what I mean? Like, I look at it as if I was to get invited to a celebration for a Jewish holiday. It's not my culture, but y'all gonna have good food in the party, I might show up. You know what I mean? Like,
Word.
That's how I look at the holidays. Like, it might not be my culture, but if somebody want to come through with a good time, whatever, I enjoy the celebration, that's cool. And the other thing is, if that's not what you're trying to honor, then simply call it something else. Give it your own, you have to be intentional about giving it your own thing. Like, we can't call it Thanksgiving anymore. You know what I mean? Like, because that was the term that they used to call their holiday. So, and there's always been fall festivals, fall feast, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
Things just honoring. In every culture, there's a celebration around this time of year in many cultures. So you could just call it something else. You know what I mean? Come up with your own traditions. You don't always got to do turkey and stuffing and all this, you know what I mean? And all this unhealthy, really, stuff either. You know what I mean? Like, I think we're at the point where we have to start actually coming up with our own celebrations that have our own history, so we don't have to keep arguing about what this holiday really means or what this means. No, decide something and go with it. Like, and then problem solve. Like, it don't have nothing to do with the pilgrims and shit no more. Like, that's gone. We ain't even on that level no more. Like, we're not even doing that. So, you know what I mean? Like, if you want to say whatever Friendsgiving is, technically renaming it. It's not Thanksgiving anymore. It's Friendsgiving. It's friends coming together, sharing food and this around this time of year. And we don't even have to talk about Thanksgiving if we don't want to. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes we just got to let shit die.
Yeah.
Just let it die and come up with your own stuff. And then we don't even have to have these conversations no more.
Facts. Especially these pilgrims in these whack-ass outfits. The drip is terrible. Mad swagless. But...
Man, horrible. Couldn't even cook.
Facts. I know that turkey was unseasoned as hell. Which is wild that they went to, they allegedly went to go find spices, but they don't season their food. But let's move forward amicably. So, like, yeah, I get that. My on my mother's side is a little bit more conscious. Like, my uncle and stuff like that. He's been like pescatarian for like at least 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
So like he has his own little section that very focus on African spirituality and stuff like that. But they still, we still gather around, we still give thanks, we still celebrate each other. And it's always good to be around family. And
exactly.
I understand there's a lot of people that don't have the privilege of having a family or a solid family or, just people that give a shit about them. My condolences and all that. But, that's what Friendsgiving is for,
Exactly, yeah. I mean, you get to build your family, you get to build your family too, but I just don't think it should be a reason why, like, you can't go be around your family is because you're so against the holiday. That you're actually going to then alienate yourself from other melanated people that are your actual blood and family because of a European holiday. Like, you're going to skip out on actually connecting and being able to build, maybe educate, maybe share, maybe, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
Because like you said, your uncle been in it for like 40 years, so you grew up seeing him be different around the holidays. You know what I mean? Like,
mm-hmm.
That's impactful for the little ones that are there. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just silly to be like that asshole at the thing. You know what I mean? Or not at the thing. And then online talking about how much you don't like your family for celebrating it, or you know what I mean? Like just being extra, like.
Yeah, and that's actually a bigger topic I was really wanted to touch on. I've been seeing a lot lately about this whole cutting off family members. Like, I don't care if that's your mother. I don't care if that's your brother. Like, toxic is toxic. And I'm just like, I feel like, first of all, I feel like this originated from a Russian bot to try to disable the family. And, you know, but I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, okay. You deal with people how they need to be dealt with. You know what I mean? Like, so now if somebody is truly negative in your life and you leave feeling drained and you don't really want, you know what I mean? Like, that's one thing, because that can come from anybody. You know, like, and if it's really that bad between you and a parent or you and a sibling where, like, it's like beef on sight, you know what I mean? Like, or it's just like all they want to do is like tear you down, then yeah, you might need to cut that out, and maybe y'all just need to write letters. You know what I mean? Or maybe you just need to call and check a couple times a year or whatever. But if it's just over, like y'all can't agree on holidays and celebrations and different religions and all that stuff, like that's petty. You know, like, but if it's truly like they trying to tear you down and like they ain't got nothing good to say about, you know, like, then yeah, that's, you know, cut that off. But if it's just over a holiday, a religion, you know, stuff that you can clearly put to the side and go to the family get together and just have a good time, have conversation, tell stories, tell jokes, and still have a good time, then you need to do, you know, that's good for the soul to be able to bond with family. But if you can't get that at all and it's just negative, then maybe, yeah, you might need to cut them off. You know, you might need to. But I think for most people, it's not that. Like, it's not that. It's more of like a disagreement on traditions and what y'all see. But yeah, I ain't talking about that stuff. Ain't nobody talking about that stuff at Thanksgiving unless you the asshole that just keep bringing it up.
Yeah, one of these brunch blacks, whatever. But yeah, like, I'm really thinking about it. Like, people will go to work with people that they can't stand, you know, and tolerate for whatever. But you can't just like tolerate somebody for like one day, maybe like twice out the year. You can't tolerate this person, like in your, you know, physical being. It's just like, so are you saying that you prefer that your bag has more, you know, priority over your family? Like,
that's exactly what they're saying.
Like, it's like,
without saying it, like, you know, without saying it, like, people don't even understand what their choices and their words are really conveying about their values.
Yeah, because I mean, honestly, and maybe it's just, you know, because I'm a Leo's son or whatever the fuck this thing is. Like, nobody is that important for me. Like, no one's that important to just be in a room and I can't like stand them. I'm just sitting there like, nah, like, just, I'm sorry, like, no one's that important, like, at all. Like, even myself, even like at my lowest of lows, like, I could still sit in the mirror and look at myself and be like, yo, let's get it together. I'm not going to be like, oh, I can't stand my own reflection. Like, I don't know, just, no one's that important to me.
Yeah, nobody should really be able to get under your skin that much. But, you know what I mean? Like, unless they're really trying to. Like, unless every time, like, you come in the door and they just like, why you got that on? Are you on that, but like, you know, are you on that Muslim shit again? Or are you old atheist? You know what I mean? Like, if they come, you know, that could be no, I can understand that part. But, like, just the fact that y'all just agree. And you know what? I blame Facebook. Because family members be beefing on Facebook, man. On some real live stuff. Because that's where people will express, you know, their other thoughts and stuff they may not actually say in person. But then it's like, oh, now I know you are, you know, you don't believe in God, or you talk shit about Christianity and I'm a Christian, so now we got beef. When y'all wouldn't, if it wasn't for Facebook, y'all would have never had that conversation in the first place. And you wouldn't even never know.
Yeah.
So, like,
you get to see you get to see a whole different side. You know, I had to mute a couple cousins, you know, they posted thirst traps. I'm like, no, we're not doing this.
Don't be soiling the family name, man.
Yeah, like, I threaten to block my cousins like every like couple of months. She goes, nah, don't block me. I'm like, no, cut that hood rat shit out.
Hey, man, I'll block my auntie.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
You're not gonna be coming at me all crooked, all sideways like that, auntie. Like, for real. this ain't the place. But then I had to also come at, because she was coming at me sideways, and then somebody came on my post like coming at her sideways. I was like, hey, listen, she wrong. That's my auntie. You ain't gonna be able to come at her like that. I'm gonna need you to slow down, back up.
Exactly, and that's what I think people.
I blocked her.
And that's what I think, people really need to, like, they just need to really reevaluate what they value. This whole, I don't know. I mean, again, granted, like, I guess there are people that have really, really toxic, households and stuff like that. But I think a lot of people are trying to, like, blow it out of proportion and making it seem like, oh, my parents is so this and so that. And it's just like, no, you're just bitch made. But it's cool,
I mean, this word toxic has been completely just blown out of proportion. Like,
facts.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a certain point to where stuff may not be good, but it ain't like toxic to the point of where it's killing you or it's doing anything negative to you at all. You know what I mean? Like, right. It's not actually, like, it's like peeing in the pool. Like, you could say that's toxic, so to speak, but, like, it ain't really hurting you. You can pretty much ignore it, and you're going to be okay at the end of the day. You can still have a good time. Like, that's how people are using toxic, I feel like. Like, oh, my God, that's so toxic. Because, like, yeah, you sensitive. You know what I mean? Like, you're overly sensitive to some stuff. Or, like, like some stuff that somebody told you that you can't even prove, like, oh, he peed in the pool. How do I know he peed in the pool? Like,
yeah, it could have been anybody.
It could have been. So it's like, people just grab onto a word and grab onto an idea and want to, like, just push it to the max for, like, some social media clout. Because really, in real life, if you go up to somebody and be like, yeah, I don't fuck with my mom because, like, she a Christian and she always be trying to, they gonna look at you like you stupid. Facts. Like he said, but if you say it on social media, then some idiot across the country gonna be like, yeah, me either. Yeah. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, that's just, like, man, social media just made, like, it's weird. It's made, like, two different worlds, and then when you try to, like, put them together, you just end up looking stupid. Like,
big facts. There's several times I've had, and I do this every once in a while, like, whenever I get my hair cut, I bring up, like, Twitter topics in the barbershop, and it's just like, man, we'll get out of here with that goofy shit. Like,
exactly. It's like social. It's like a different world. Like, 'cause no, it's not real. Like, it's literally not real. And I guess, like, it's hard to really know how not real it is unless you actually try to talk about it in a real face-to-face setting.
Yes.
And then you realize, like, half the people on Twitter are just bored at work or depressed at home, and they just feel like talking shit and trying to trigger people, and they just want to try to feel cool and try to feel like they're a part of some crowd or whatever. But they would never say none of that stuff none of that stuff to anybody that they actually deal with on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, in fact, I'm more problematic in person, truth be told.
Oh, man, honestly, I don't say anything really much in person. Like, if it's not about, like, the learning center, my book, whatever, I don't even go on any topics unless somebody actually asks me. You know what I mean? Like, because usually people, like, follow me, after they might have bought the book or they might be interested in it, and they'll follow me and they'll be like, I had no idea, you thought that way or you were that whatever. And I'm like, yeah. But it wasn't like I gave off a different feeling. You just didn't know, because that's just stuff you don't talk about.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you just don't walk up to somebody and be like, what's the topic that's been on my timeline today has been about, like, single mothers and positive male role models has been, like, the thing that people were talking about. And I was just like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like I'm gonna walk up to somebody and be like, hey, you're a single mother, you need to have positive male role models in your son's life, and you probably should, you know what I mean? You probably shouldn't be having sex with them, because then when y'all break up, he's going to break up with your son, and then and it's going to like, no, I'm not having this conversation every day and just bringing that up. But if someone was to ask me, I'll still have that same opinion. But a lot of these people, if somebody was to ask them in real life, face to face, they not gonna say that stuff.
Big facts.
Uh-oh. Here, my son's crying. Here we go. Yeah.
So, yeah.
But yeah, so like that's just what I mean. You can't buy into like you got to treat social media like social media, and it like can't be generalized to the whole world because.
Nah, I definitely feel you. I mean, even like when I see like women I know, like they post thirst traps, it's just like, I know you. Like we went to college together. Like this is funny to me. You trying to be sexy, like. But to other people, it's just like, yo, shorty bad. I'm about to, whatever. So, yeah, it's just it's a different world. It's
everybody got their social media alter egos or something.
Yeah, I actually got called a fraud. He goes, yeah, he think he problematic, but he don't really. But it's like, again, it's kind of like you. Like, I'm not gonna like voice my opinion for no reason. Like, if you ask me, then yeah, I'll tell you. But I'm not gonna be like, oh, I hate this or I hate that or whatever. Like,
Because it's just, I mean, that's just like asshole behavior.
Yeah, it's just
like
unnecessary.
That's attention seek. It's like attention seeking, and you know what I mean. Like, and that's just not what we really need to do. You know what I mean? Like. So, because it becomes the people who use social media as like an outlet to talk about the things they would never say to people because they realize that it's not needed. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just like, I'm just sharing these random thoughts that's in my head because they be in there and there's no one else,
right.
Nobody wants to hear them in person. So I just say I'm here. But then there's people that actually go to social media to try to get clout to be something that they're not. And those are the people that usually run with just the craziest scenarios or ideas or debates or whatever. I don't even know what they're called. Like, I think I'm officially just over, like, conscious Negroes. I'm just over.
Need you a dumb nigga.
I'm just over it. Like, y'all just be out here talking, trying to sound like y'all with something or down with something or stand for something, and y'all don't really be doing shit in real life. Like, shut up.
That is a big fact. And I've said this also, just like, yo, don't be with the whole rah, activism, whatever, and your hood is in shambles, but you online talking all this, talking like you Dr. Khalid Muhammad or something. Like, what does your hood look like? What have you done?
What organizations are you working with that are out here trying to do anything productive? Like, are you just going home? Are you just going to work and going home and getting online?
# what are we building?
Hey, look, that's my only question. I don't even care. You can say the most ignorant, sexist, racist stuff online, turn around and come to my youth group, and I'm going to be like, that's my nigga, regardless of race. Like, I don't even, like, what are we building? Okay,
right.
You said all this BS, but you know what I mean? Like, you out here really putting in some work and trying to really build something cool. Like, we all gonna have different opinions when it comes to stuff. We all gonna have different opinions.
Yeah.
We all gonna have different opinions when it comes to stuff, but like, but I need action. Like, actions over words. You know what I mean? Like, because then there's some people who get online and they just want to joke and talk shit and be problematic, but they actually out here building. But online, they just seem like a little, like, they just the asshole that's just poking at everybody. But they actually out here in the community. You know what I mean? Like, so I know a few of those. Like, you know what? You got shit online.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like, back home, like, shit, the drug dealers do more than these pro-black people around here.
Man, our martial arts instructor was just saying that, like, cause he been in the community since he was like 16, like building community and mentoring and doing programs and in the like community parks and all that stuff. So like, he was like, man, one time they made T-shirts for something. He's like, I mean, it wasn't nothing special, but he's like, we just made T-shirts, and he was like, man, we had about 3 or 4 drug dealers come through and buy T-shirts for their whole block. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they was like, oh, man, it's something positive. We need, all the kids in the neighborhood need these T-shirts. You know what I mean? Like, just came through with about 200 T-shirts. Bye-bye, let's go. Like, he was like 3 or 4 of them. Like, bam, okay, we good. You know, like, I was like, but all you online doing is talking about shaming people for celebrating Thanksgiving and Christmas. Shut the fuck up. I can't. Like, I'm over it. Like, over it.
Nah, I definitely hear you on that. So going back to like the whole ritual thing, so you know, I think that basically like, and not that I think, but I've heard, excuse me, it's a big difference, big difference. You know, like just, you know, the earth has its phases and stuff like that, and, you know, different seasons have different energies and stuff like that, and you know, there's a certain kind of energy, like a certain, you know, associated with Thanksgiving and Christmas and stuff like that. And, you know, when people gather to celebrate this, you know, particular holiday, it just feeds to that energy.
Exactly. So if you're not actively putting your energy into a certain direction, you know what I mean? Like, so if you're not saying I'm doing this ritual for this purpose, for my energy to feed this, then you're just feeding whatever the conscious collective or the unconscious really collective, wherever that energy is going. So like whoever created the ritual, that's who you're supporting.
Right.
So if you're just supporting Thanksgiving because it's had a habit and, you know what I mean? Like you're just basically following the general guidelines and the general things that everybody does, then you are feeding into the ritual of whoever created the original one and whatever their goals are. And goals were, and so forth.
Right.
So like, you got to be intentional with your stuff, like, or else you're just feeding, and that's all you want to do is you want to feed whatever the current paradigm is trying to accomplish, which is your own demise. By all means, just feed into the ritual. You know what I mean? Like, yep. But if you want to be more intentional with your own power, then you have to be intentional with creating your own ritual and putting your energy where you want it to go. Like, but we don't understand. A lot of people just don't understand rituals and energy and how powerful our energy and our intention and our attention is. Like, we don't get it. Like, we just think it's, oh, I'm just celebrating Thanksgiving, or oh, I'm just watching TV, I'm just watching this award show, and I'm just doing all this stuff, and I'm like, that's power. Like, you're literally giving away your power.
Yeah, and I mean, just, you know what they say in that book that nobody believes. You know, if 2 or 3 are gathered into my name, I will be in the midst, and you know that energy, whatever the cause is that you're trying to do, that'll be there in the midst of it. You know, that doesn't just go with like holidays. It goes with, you know, when you bump uglies and you're making that sex magic, you know, got 2 or 3, you know, whatever floats your boat. Like, it's going to be some sort of wizardry going on. So, you know, it's just people need to be very, go ahead.
It's so simple though. Like, it's really simple, because even if you just, to do it as a simple way for people to understand, if you're going out, because, you know, everybody, you know, people like to go out and party. If you get together at an apartment or a house or whatever first, and y'all do like a pregame, it's a pregame ritual, right? Mm-hmm. Before the next turn up, like, y'all pretty much at that pregame ritual decide the course for the whole night. Y'all decide the energy for the whole night. And then everybody who joins you, when you get there, they're on your level. Like, they're joining your energy. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, so just like a tailgate with a game. Same thing.
Exactly. All of those, everything is original ritual. Everything we do is life is a ritual. When you wake up, that's a ritual. Like, when you go to bed, that's a ritual. When you shower, that's a ritual. So, like, if you're not intentionally doing these things, if you're not intentional with your ritual, then you're just kind of following the crowd, and you're just letting your energy go to the people who created the ritual that you're participating in.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of things are ritual. Like, foreplay is a ritual. Washing your legs is a ritual. Like, it's just
everything. everything you do is a ritual. Like anything you do, everything you do is a ritual.
Yeah, anything that's routine is a ritual.
That's all ritual really means. It's a routine you do every time you do this activity. Like brushing your teeth I read this story. It was like a play. I think it was like maybe in my sociology when I was in school in a sociology class. They read the story and they oh, there's this group, there was this group of people who woke up every day and they thought they had to rub this special formulated cream on their teeth in order so that they didn't fall out, and then they had to do all this stuff and blah, 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 blah. And then so it made it sound like crazy. And then they go, it's U.S. culture. They get up and brush your teeth every day. Otherwise, they think their teeth are going to fall out or they're going to decay. And it just went, but it was put it in the lens of making it sound like this tribal group. Or, you know what I mean? They made it it's a ritual of this and a ritual of that. And, and then when they got to the end, they was it's you. This is U.S. culture. And right. It was at that moment, I realized everything is a ritual. You know what I mean? So when you start, I like to look at things as when they look back at this time in history, how are they going to describe it? How are they going to look at it? It's a ritual. This was your culture. This is what, you know what I mean? So that makes me real want to step real, proper in how I do my things. Cause I'm when they look back, all they're going to be able to tell is by your actions, what you did every day, by your rituals, by your culture. That's what you're going to be judged by. And looking around, the shit fucking sucks.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It sucks. And then you're going to be lumped in with when the culture started, which was when it was started was by Europeans, and they were going for the demise of the indigenous people. So you're going to be lumped in with supporting those rituals and that culture.
Yep, being accessory to the crime.
Yeah.
Yeah, because right now, pretty much everyone's ritual is, they get woken up by their phone, a.k.a. their God. The guy, then they turn off, the alarm for their guy. Then they pray to their God by, checking their social media feed and everything like that before they even get out of bed. So they're already just, man, look, I don't gotta explain nothing to you. You know what the fuck I'm talking about, but it's just, it's just crazy, how everyone's just so. The routine stuff isn't, or the ritual stuff isn't just for the holidays. It's your everyday routine, waking up, being on your phone, giving all this energy to your phone, getting legit mad at somebody and saying all kinds of flagrant things to them from your phone.
Somebody 900 miles away that you were never going to talk with and mess up your whole day. You really mad. Not
even that. An automated bot that's not even real.
That's the other part too. It's not even a real person.
Yeah.
And people really be mad. And I'll be because I'll be catching myself sometimes. When certain people respond or certain people say certain stuff, I'll be God, I'll be irritated. Can you really be this stupid? And then I'll be maybe they just a bot. That's why that's how I stop myself from responding to people, even though I'm pretty sure they're actual people. I'd be it's probably just a bot, because half of these niggas is bots anyway. Yep. They just following trends and looking at whatever the hot thought is. You know what I mean? They don't actually have any original thought of their own. They're just jumping on trains.
Yeah.
That's what's cool. That's what. Yeah, I agree with that. You don't even know why you agree with that. You don't even know the history behind it. You couldn't even explain it beyond somebody else tweeted it, and I was yeah. That's it. That's all you got. That's all you got.
Yeah, and it's just so funny because I actually, I was just thinking about traditions and why we do things. I forgot. I think I sent a gift to somebody because I've been doing intermittent fasting for quite some time. I don't have my first meal till probably 11, and I don't have my last meals around ideally 6 or 7, sometimes 8, whatever. And my homegirl was telling me that she's eating fruit, and so I just I sent the gift as jealous, and then one of them was just I'm green with envy, and I'm just why do we say green with envy when like green is like the color of the heart chakra. So people try to use jealousy for love and just like little shit like that. It's just like, where does this all come from?
Who knows? I also heard that they said like when you know how when people get mad they be like you salty.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Polite, and one of his things was breaking down the biochemistry of that, and he was like, actually, when you are angry, this increases in the brain, blah 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 blah, which releases this, and it actually is a form of sodium. Like, he was like, so you are salty. Like, some of this stuff is so subconscious that we know, but we don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It's like we know something instinctively or intuitively, but we don't actually know we know it, and we're just pulling shit out and putting it together, and it's like so much deeper than it really is. And some of this stuff is us actually remembering some of our culture, some of our, you know, through, I don't know if you want to call it ancestral memory, Akashic records, whatever. There's, you know, whatever just passed down. We know our culture a little bit, you know, something in us is like, this is what we should do. And we're pulling that in with the law, with what we're being fed to. You know what I mean? Like, so we're mixing something that feels right and something we intuitively know with some stuff that we've been fed, trying to make it feel right. Or trying to, like, it's weird. It's deep, but it's kind of weird at the same time.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of stuff is just hidden in plain sight. You know, it's just a lot of, and like when people like break it down, it's just like, yo, you know, it's that wire meme that everyone shows, just like, yo, like, yeah, all this stuff is hidden in plain sight, and if you can put the pieces together, then that's cool. If you can't, then it's just like, well, nah, it can't be that deep. I'm like, nah, it is.
Man, I hate when people say that. It's not that deep. No, you're not that deep. Like, it is that deep, but you're not that deep. And that's okay.
That's what he said.
I respect your superficiality.
Let me relax. But yeah, definitely. There's so much depth to like different things and so many. I think honestly, just the English language in general is just like probably one of the most deceptive languages ever.
It's beyond deceptive, and that's another thing where they convolute like the rituals and the language, and you end up doing stuff that you don't even know you're doing and supporting because the language is like even good morning. Like, why am I mourning when I wake up? Why would you be mourning?
Yes, mourning's not good.
Yeah, we're not mourning. We're not dying. Or I guess technically some would say we are dying, but like, you know what I mean? It's like, good morning. I'm not mourning. I'm actually joyous to be waking up. So why would I say good? I'm not mourning. You know what I mean? Like, just then there's always the sun and the sun.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, just it's made to confuse you, so you can't even speak truth. Like, you can't even be true to what you're saying because, like, it don't even make sense. They just say, oh, well, this means this, and then we added one random letter, and now it means something completely different. But in actuality, it still means the same thing.
Yeah, like, because I don't think, like, other languages have, like, homophones and homonyms and double entendres and all this other wild shit.
They do not. That's why they say English is, like, one of the hardest languages. I think it's, like, Dutch, English, I forget the third.
Like Mandarin or something, probably?
Oh, no. I don't even think it's one of them. It's all, like, the Germanic languages because they have all these rules that don't make sense, that aren't, there's no continuity to the rule. Like, I before E, except after C, but then there's, like, 20 other times where that's also not true. You know what I mean? Like, wait, so that's not really a rule. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's just confusing. Then how you sound out stuff, like rough and throw, they both end in the same thing, but like, why?
Yeah.
Why is one rough and one's throw? Or through? Like, I don't understand.
Why does PH give an F sound? Is it because their pH is off? All right, I'm gonna chill with the dad jokes, but nah, like, for real, it just doesn't. All
right, you're gonna be a father. Keep on saying. sex magic. I heard you brought it up to begin the thing. I'm just saying. You putting that energy out there.
I did, and I had visions and shit too. It is what it is, man. Anyway, the point is,
oh man, I'm gonna call you out.
Hey, someone's got to do it. I appreciate you for calling me out. Some people just, let me hang myself. But yeah, just with the whole rituals and stuff like that, it's just. Well, just in general, like with the English language, and it basically have like no integrity. It's just like it just shows you that things are subject to change, and it's just like it's a code that you got to decode.
Mm-hmm. It's either a code that you have to decode, or you have to just commit to creating your own code and sticking with that. You know what I mean? Like and you have to be okay with that, and you have to be confident in that. You know what I mean? Like you can't. That's what you really have to do. It's like create your own personal culture and stick with that. So like if you're gonna celebrate this time of the year, like create your own. If you're gonna do something like we do it, me and Rami been doing a solstice. We do a solstice little thing. I get them one little gift. We usually decorate a wreath instead of the tree. We'll decorate a wreath, and and we say some things, and that's what it means for us. You know what I mean? Like
right.
this is what it is for us. But we'll probably go to my sister's house. She'll probably get him a couple presents, and he'll probably be like Christmas tree, and he still don't know Santa Claus. Like he just don't. He knows Christmas tree, but he don't know who Santa Claus is. But you know what I mean? Like yeah, like
white Rick Ross.
Yeah, he's just like, Mommy, who's that? And me, I'm a smart ass. I'm like, I don't know, some white man with white hair and white beard, man. Like that's it. You know what I mean? Like I answer it like I'm just ignorant to the whole fact.
Right.
Like he'll come back to me and be like, Mama, that's Santa Claus. I'm like, for real? Like I'm like, oh, I don't know him like that, man. We don't really get down with that. But I ain't like, you know what I mean? Neither am I telling him like he's 4. I'm not like, that's the white man's ritual and like we're not going in that far. Like it's not even that. I'm not trying to have him out here telling people that Santa Claus ain't real and you know.
Yeah.
I'll just be like, that's
what
white
people
is.
at the store, cave people and shit. Like, you gotta.
Yeah, like that's just unnecessary. Like that is so. That's what bitter black people do.
Yeah.
Like literally, like why? I mean, I get why you're bitter actually, but you're gonna have to let that go.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna have to let that go, and then once you actually start embracing a culture and creating a culture of your own, like you don't have to be bitter. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, that's what y'all do. That's what you know what I mean? Like, that's what I do. This is what I do. And that's cool. And then I can start looking at you like, that's your culture. Cool. You know what I mean? Like, you can have that.
If you were to personify black people as like a collective, like as one person, it would be that person. It would be that friend that's always hating on somebody's relationship, always saying that nigga ain't shit or whatever. Or, these hoes ain't nothing, these hoes ain't loyal, whatever. But really, really boils down to is that they don't love themselves. Once they love themselves, they can develop a relationship of their own. But they have no love of their own. And so they hate on everybody else that has love. Mic drop.
I mean, that's exactly what is going on. And it's like, it's so hard to really know what that, like the black conscious, I don't know, the collective really is. You know what I mean? Like, because there's so many different types of black people. You know what I mean? Like, so many different. But if you had to like generalize, it's a very limited perspective, a very hurt people, of course, too. You know what I mean? Like, that's the other thing is when you get out here and it's all like hateful and y'all always talking shit and trying to bring everybody down, you're just revealing that you're still a hurt people that haven't healed.
Facts.
You know? Like, so like, I mean, all that stuff can be true about the history and white people and all that stuff and blah 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 blah. But like once you actually do it and confront it and come to terms with what's going on, like it's not something you got to be shitty about 24/7. Yeah. Like if you're working consciously to improve and be better and develop your own culture and all that stuff, like you don't have to be so damn bitter all the time. Like, what are we building, y'all? Like, I'm just saying, like, oh, okay, that's what they built. Even if you saying our ancestors helped them build it. You know what I mean? Like, well, they did what they had to do to get us where we are today, so what are we going to do? Are we going to continue to try to be a part of this and build within this culture, or you create something yourself? You know what I mean? Like, stop. Like, we got to get, like, we talk about white people way too damn much.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's just like, we're being sore losers, like we took an L, and instead of, if you lose a fight, you get back in the gym, you train, you might take a boxing class or something like that, and you come back and whip that ass. But instead, we're just talking about like, yo, man, like, we're just talking shit.
Shit's fucked up, man. They still doing the same shit, man. They've been doing and I'm like, these niggas are still talking about it.
Yeah.
Like, so what are we talking like?
You keep hitting me with that haymaker, man. Like, nigga, duck.
Like, do something, like, besides just sitting here crying.
Yeah.
Like,
bob and weave, sweep the legs, something. Damn.
Like, we stuck in, and we all know it's by design too, because that's why they just keep putting, because they've been killing niggas since slavery. It ain't never stopped. Mm-hmm. It ain't never slowed down. Police always been crooked. All this, none of this stuff is new. None of this stuff is new, but it's going to be continuously pushed on social media, in the media, and all this stuff is because they want to continue to trigger you over and keep you in a victim mentality. That's what they want to do, is they want to keep black people in the same spot in a victim mentality.
Facts. Man, so what would you say is the best piece of advice? If you had to say one thing to people, coming into this holiday season, if you had to say anything to them, what would you say?
I would say be intentional with your celebration and your ritual and your energy. And then after that, just have a good time. Enjoy yourself. Like, whatever that looks like for you. Like, it's no reason just to be sitting here being bitter. Like, basically, that would in short, like, be intentional with your energy, create your ritual, all that good stuff, and then go have a good time. Don't let these bitter people on social media, because I swear that's the only place they exist. Don't let these bitter people like make you feel bad for enjoying your family because you have good relationships. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's the same thing when like people slander people for like, growing up with privilege and shit like that. It's like, okay, my bad, my parents didn't fail. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry. Like, sorry for taking advantage of every opportunity that I was given because you didn't have them. Like, what?
Yeah. It's real simple. It's a lot of I guess it's just self-hatred. It's really what it is.
It is, and I mean, and it's sad, but like at this point, you just almost have to laugh at it because it's a tragic comedy. Yes. Because that's what I mean, because it is like kind of a mindfuck to like know that one of your favorite holidays or your favorite season is all based in your oppression. It's fucked up. I mean, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, like that's messed up. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Yeah, the plight of the Negro is a satirical tragedy.
It is. So it's like, that is messed up. And it might take a few years to come to terms with it and trying to figure out what, you know what I mean? Because it might not feel right when you first find out. It might not feel right to go to Thanksgiving dinner the first year you find out the truth about Thanksgiving. You might not be able to go sit at the table this year. And that's okay too. You know what I mean? Like, if you truly are uncomfortable with the history and everything and all that stuff, and don't go. You know what I mean? Like if it's truly that uncomfortable for you, but don't feel like you got to do it to prove your blackness or to prove how conscious you are, to show like people like no.
Especially
because,
not
like
the damn internet.
Yes, exactly. Because that's it. They only doing this online, and half the people that's probably talking about don't go celebrate is gonna go get a plate, and they just not gonna post that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because they be caping online. Is it caping or capping? I've been trying to get up with it's capping, right? There we go. Look, me and my mom jokes.
Yeah, I mean, like,
but they people be lying, basically. They be lying.
Your favorite Twitter activist eats pork on a regular. You just have no idea.
Listen, like people be saying, like, listen, okay, you can just if we know that people lie in real life, then what makes you think that these strangers with no accountability aren't lying online?
Yeah.
Like, there's nobody to hold you accountable. That's why, you know what I mean? Like, so if we know they lying and people are lying to your face in real life, then just know for sure that people are on the internet creating a facade.
Big facts. Big facts. All right, well, don't want to have this run too long. We about 50 some odd minutes. So if people want to find you and, contribute to the cause, where can they go?
All right, so I got my website, www.ajayadevine.com, AJAYADIVINE.com. And also, starting 2020, I'll be starting my campaign for the Learning Center for my nonprofit. We'll also be starting our learning cooperative out of our martial arts school. So you'll be able to keep up with that. YouTube, I'm gonna get my YouTube popping again. So I'm Ajaya Devine on YouTube also. That's really it. I'm slow walking back into this thing, trying to like really narrow in on, because I had a million things going on, but that's what I'm focusing on is the Learning Center, the learning group, my book.
Yeah, I mean, I know you got the new phone now, like your skin looking all clear. We see the freckles and shit. I'm like, okay.
Man, I got helly freckles that people didn't even know because my old phone camera was low quality.
Yeah, I'm like, oh shit, she a baddie on the low. That's crazy. But yeah, actually, I gotta talk to you off record about this magic situation. But yeah,
I got you.
Make sure you like, subscribe, and all that other cute shit on Apple and Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, because that's where we're at KDD Radio Show. And you'll see us again soon. Later.
All right.